Everyone thinks Babylon was just towering walls and grand temples. They're wrong. It's easy to picture the ancients of Babylon, those who walked the magnificent Ishtar Gate, as solely focused on monumental architecture and imperial power. But step away from the grand narratives, and you find something far more intimate, more human: the humble backyard garden. This wasn't the legendary hanging gardens, mind you, which were likely a royal marvel. We're talking about the small, often muddy plots behind the sun-baked mud-brick homes of ordinary people, the merchants, the artisans, the common laborers. Imagine the blistering Babylonian sun beating down on the Mesopotamian plain. Water was life, a precious commodity, and every drop from the Euphrates or Tigris canals was carefully managed, meticulously diverted to sustain these small pockets of green. These aren't just pretty spaces. These gardens were essential, a tiny buffer against scarcity, a source of fresh herbs and vegetables in a diet often dominated by grains and dates. They were a testament to resilience, a quiet rebellion against the harsh landscape. What grew in these modest plots? We know from cuneiform tablets and archaeological finds that onions, garlic, leeks, and lentils were staples. These weren't exotic imports. They were the everyday sustenance of a bustling urban center. Herbs, too, played a crucial role. Coriander, mint, and thyme weren't just for flavoring food. Many had medicinal properties, used in rudimentary remedies for common ailments, passed down through generations. The act of gardening itself, in a city so dense, must have been a grounding experience. A connection to the earth, a rhythm of planting and harvesting, a stark contrast to the clamor of the marketplace or the demands of the state. Children would have helped, learning the cycles of nature, the patience required for growth. It wasn't just food, it was a classroom, a family activity, a small patch of shared responsibility in a complex world. These gardens weren't just practical, they were also places of quiet beauty. A splash of green, a burst of color from flowering herbs, a small refuge from the relentless dust and brickwork of the city. Imagine the morning routine, stepping out into the cool air before the sun truly began its ascent, checking on the sprouts, feeling the damp earth between your fingers. A moment of peace before the day's toil began. And the sounds, not just the city's distant hum, but the buzz of bees, the rustle of leaves, perhaps the gentle drip of water into an irrigation channel. A symphony of life, often overlooked in our grand historical narratives. These small plots also fostered community. Neighbors might share seeds, exchange tips on pest control, or even trade surplus produce. A microeconomy of sustenance built on cooperation. The knowledge of gardening, of which plants thrived in that unique climate, was passed down orally, generation to generation. It was a practical wisdom, as vital as knowing how to build a brick or weave a textile. And when a harvest was good, there was celebration. A small feast, perhaps, enhanced by the fresh bounty from one's own labor. A direct connection between effort and reward, a joy often lost in larger, more impersonal systems. But these gardens were vulnerable. Floods from the rivers, periods of drought, or even the demands of war could wipe out a season's work. The fragility of life, deeply understood by those who relied on the land. Yet they persisted. These small, private oases tell a story not of kings and empires, but of human ingenuity, of perseverance, and of the enduring desire to cultivate life, even in the heart of a bustling, ancient metropolis. They remind us that even in the most awe-inspiring civilizations, the fabric of daily life was woven from simple, earthy threads. The unexpected bounty of everyday life, nurtured in the backyard of a concrete jungle. Next time you imagine ancient Babylon, don't just see the ziggurats. See the quiet hands tending a patch of green, sustaining life, one small sprout at a time. Discover more forgotten corners of ancient lives by diving into our next deep dive.